So, as predicted, Virginia's Senate actually ended up passing the red flag law, and I want to discuss what this means. So, as always, my audience will be anyone who's willing to listen to me, but I understand that there are people that come from all sorts of different backgrounds and different opinions on things. So, I really want to focus on people that maybe think, well, hey, these red flag laws might not be such a bad idea, because if someone seems like an extreme nutcase or extremely violent, even if they don't have criminal charges, I don't want them having access to firearms. The problem is, even if you think that sounds sensible, anytime you give the government the power to take away your rights, you give them the possibility to abuse that power. So I want to look at some of the things we've seen the government do lately. We've given the government and executive agencies the power to strip away our Fourth Amendment rights. For example, you could go to a FISA court and strip an American from all of their rights of privacy, all of their rights of free speech, etc., because you accuse them of being a foreign spy. We see how just recently the FBI 17 times broke protocol to abuse that in order to spy on a presidential campaign and later the president himself and his team once he was actually put in office. That is horrifying. If they're willing and able to do that to the President of the United States, what do you think they would be able to do to you? And so if we give the government another tool in order to take away your rights that were outlined by our founding fathers in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that will be abused over and over again. Look again at the Kavanaugh situation. Do you see how they were willing to spread lies to try to keep someone out to achieve political power? That will be used against you. If they could do it to a Supreme Court justice, they could do it to you. Do you see how Governor Northam said, oh, there was some nebulous threat that was going to occur at the Virginia rallies, therefore we had to stop people from the ability to open carry on Capitol grounds? They will use those exact same strategies against you. Do you see on how Twitter or other places that people will dox you and will contact your businesses if you support Donald Trump? Or they'll get in touch with Twitter and try to do everything they can to get you banned if you have a conservative point of view. If they do that on there, they'll do it again in the context of these red flag laws to strip you of your Second Amendment rights. Yes, there's always a potential cost to having liberty. But as Benjamin Franklin said, those that would sacrifice liberty for safety deserve neither. We have to live with the fact that, yes, there will always be shootings, there will always be murder, there will always be firearms used for horrible things. But that doesn't mean that we punish those that are actually law-abiding citizens and take your rights away. Using that same logic, we know that almost every act of violence is precipitated by some form of thought or speech. So should we eliminate the First Amendment and your right to free speech as well to keep us safe? Of course not. And as I've showed again and again, according to GAO statistics in 2017, around 13,000 people tried to illegally purchase firearms with the laws we already had on the books. The federal government decided to prosecute 12 of the nearly 13,000. This goes to show you these red flag laws aren't designed to keep guns out of criminals' hands. They're designed to keep guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands. This will be abused. It is another step towards the process of guilty until proven innocent. Remember, I talked about this just last night in my live stream with Covington. Remember the Kavanaugh situation. Both of those situations, we had establishment people in the Democratic Party telling you that the concept of innocent until proven guilty is no longer true. Look at how they've abused the Me Too thing. We're now, believe all women, any accusation is proof of your guilt. Now they're able to take your Second Amendment rights based just on accusations. This is a terrible law that we all need to fight against. Hopefully this law ends up getting to the Supreme Court and gets struck down. But we shouldn't just rely on the courts. We should continue to spread the information because we know that the mainstream media is just a propaganda outlet for the establishment Democratic Party and the intel agencies. We should continue to spread this message to the average person, how important your Second Amendment rights are, and why these red flag laws are so tyrannical and will be abused by the government to selectively go after people they want. Look at how the IRS under Obama went after conservative groups. This is just another tool, except it's one of your most important fundamental rights, your right to protect yourself from a tyrannical government. And they will take that away from you without due process. So, now, does this mean that the Virginia rally wasn't a success? Absolutely not. When I did my videos talking about why the Virginia rally was a success, I assumed that yes, these laws still would get passed. The rally wouldn't be enough to cause the Democratic lawmakers that are in charge to say, oh, geez, there's mass anger against these laws, so we won't do it. Of course they were going to do it. But it showed that we could peaceably assemble, that the media and the Democrats lied about saying this was bigots that were against these laws, it was violent people against the laws. And we got that information out there and showed the establishment that tens of thousands of people are willing to show up and millions more back home understand the importance of our Second Amendment rights. So hey, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing a live stream at noon Eastern time Friday, and then I think a debate after that, probably around 4 p.m. On Friday, all times Eastern. And yeah, please consider looking at the description and following me on BitChute, Twitter, and maybe supporting me on Patreon and PayPal. So thanks everyone and have a good one.